All right, I have a great show for you today. Somebody that I have been very curious to speak with, somebody that two of my past guests have said, hey, when you get this lady on your show, you definitely need to text me the link. So, Lavern Spicer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Stephen, for inviting me on your show.
So, you are running for Congress down there in Florida, and you are a big fan of the United States of America and Donald Trump. I want to jump right into a question with you from President Trump this morning. He said earlier today that Fox News needs to drop Paul Ryan from their board. He's a Trump hating, MAGA hating person who has basically spent all of his time trying to destroy Donald Trump's presidency and comeback. What are your thoughts about President Trump saying, you got to kick this dog off the board?
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And let me say, first of all, I do love my country. I support this country. You know, we are in the land of the free, the home of the brave. And this is one of the greatest places on earth to live in. So, yes, and I just would like to see more of the congressional people that represent this country love this country as much as they love Ukraine and the other countries that they are always supporting. But yeah, so far as President Trump, you got to do what you got to do. If he's not supporting the Magna movement, like so many of the people that are supposed to be GOP representatives in the first place are not supporting us. A lot of them are rhinos. A lot of them are actually communists, and they have a hidden agenda. So if they're not supporting the movement, then yeah, kick them off the board and
Okay.
let's move forward.
You brought up Ukraine. In the beginning, people were very supportive of Ukraine to the point where they were replacing the American flag with the Ukraine flag. But now, after $200 billion of taxpayer money, I think a lot of people are starting to wake up and say, wait a minute, couldn't that money be used to improve my community, make life better for veterans, senior citizens, hardworking taxpayers, lowering this inflation? What are your thoughts at this point? Is it time to become more America first and maybe push Ukraine to peace talks with Putin?
Well, I operate a program, a food bank, nonprofit, and I have been feeding and helping my community for over 30 years of my life. So when I see seniors that have worked all of their life that can't even put food in their refrigerator, can't even provide for their own selves now, that are standing in my line, that's truly heartbreaking. And I'm talking about people that are 80 and 90 years old. I also have a wide variety of veteran populations that are homeless, sleeping in the streets. These people have fought, they have given their life for this country only to come back and be treated like secondhand citizens. So, with everything that is going on, I want to know, when are we going to put the people of this country first? When does our lives matter, actually matter? The American people, we should come first and not Ukraine and all of these other illegals that they are given a place to stay. And in some places, like Chicago, as much as 10,000, New York, $5,000. But people that have worked, the everyday American people are struggling to make ends meet. And so far as Ukraine, they need to put all of their energy and those funds into putting America first.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. That's so amazing that you've been helping people be food stable and get their needs met for so many years. That's really, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Um, I've been watching Donald Trump go to places that most politicians never go, right? You've got him going to the Bronx. He's showing up in Detroit, uh, over in Michigan. My new friend P. Ray in Chicago. Why do you think Donald Trump is doing so well with the Black and Latino communities?
because he realized that Black people, we just like everybody else. We want generational wealth for our kids. We want the American dream. We want to be homeowners, have a job, and everything else. So we're no different from anybody else. So with that in mind, what he did, he went and he embraced people. He didn't have the attitude that you see a lot that you would expect from the GOP, you know, from so many of them. Donald Trump became all inclusive. He invited the Black people to be a part. And he also caught our attention in 2020 when he said, why don't y'all run and take back your communities in the first place? Because they're not helping you. So anybody that have any type of program, nonprofit or anything else that has been helping people for years could relate to that, because we know the struggle. We know the struggle that's involved when you're trying to help people and you always get, well, no, we don't have any funds available. No, I can't help you right now. When we know that is a bold-faced lie. So Trump invited the Black people in to the GOP. He got us involved. That's how I got involved. I mean, I was a Democrat for years. And I believe the narrative. I believe that Republicans were all racist. Republicans didn't care about the Black community. I believed all of that. I fed into that narrative. But Trump caught my attention, and that's when I changed my party and became a Republican and got involved with the GOP and became a committee woman. So, I'm on the team and I'm fighting. I'm fighting too, and I have been fighting since 2020 to change the whole view as so far as the Black community see the GOP and see the Republicans in the first place. So, as a person that was on the forefront of that, I caught a lot of the hatred that was coming from the Black community with all the insults, the racist names, and everything else. But now with so many Black people waking up, especially by Biden being in office and just screwing up everything when he opened up, with those open borders and all the resources he put up to help those illegal aliens, but nothing for the Black community. So that's what really, really caught people attention, because we always felt that, hey, they just don't have the resources, so they cannot help us. But with that border being open, they went and pulled the rabbit out the hat, laid out the red carpet for them. So now you have people that are Americans that sit back watching and looking at this and saying, hey, if you did this for them, why you all could not do this for us?
Yeah, I read just the other day that they're projecting that it will cost over $400 billion a year to support these illegal immigrants. To me, it's maddening that they say, oh, there's no money for your community, Lavern, but if you guys were a war, there would be $1 trillion. If you guys were illegal immigrants, there would be billions and billions of dollars. It's just it's insulting that they say there's no money, there's no resources, there's no help unless you're not an American citizen. It just seems so backwards to me.
Truly, and that's why Joe Biden is losing grip on the Black community for everything that you just said, because we all know that Trump did prison reform, which helped the Black community for those small drug crimes that help those people to get out of prison. He also did the school choice, which helped Black people take their kids to a better school than those failing schools that are in their community. And he funded HBCUs and enterprise zones, opportunity zones. So he has done a lot for the Black community. And only thing that the Black community has ever gotten from the Democratic Party is broken promises from Joe Biden. who always has condescending, demeaning things to say about Black people. Like I said, if you don't vote for him, then you're not Black. But I'm Black all day, every day, and I would not be voting for him.
Yeah. Um, Going back to the HUBC situation, I saw a video just a couple of days ago. Trump surprised a group that was having a luncheon at Mar-a-Lago, and a beautiful Black woman in the back, she stood up and she said, "Do you know why you have my vote?" She said, "Every year the HUBC has to go to government and beg them for money. But when we came to you, you funded us with more money for multiple years so that we could just get back to educating instead of fundraising and begging for money." That really shocked me. I didn't know that story. I think it's really great. He's funded more HUBC than I believe even Barack Obama. So that was a surprising story for me to learn just in the last couple of days.
Absolutely. Once again, that's why we are embracing, the Republican Party. That's why we are embracing the conservative movement, because Black people was always conservatives in the first place, and everybody knows that the Democratic Party was the party of the KKK. So, yes.
Yeah. Well, Black Americans are very, very family focused. You guys look out for each other, and I love that. Speaking of President Biden, it's no you can't cover up that his health is diminishing rapidly. His ability to form sentences, walk, exit a stage. Yet the mainstream media is now putting forward this narrative that Republicans are using AI to create deep fakes to make him look bad. I mean, what is this garbage? We don't have time to make fake videos when he can embarrass himself all on his own.
Yeah, Biden doesn't need our help for that, because he's doing a great job of screwing up everything that he touches. He cannot even stand up on the stage. He cannot walk up on the airplane without falling. He's doing everything. He doesn't need our help. And then on top of that, when he's out in the crowd and kids are involved, then he starts sniffing the kids. What is that? And then when they turn him loose, he's standing there. He's always wandering off. They have to go grab him and bring him back. If he's on stage, he begins to wander off. He can't even complete half of the sentences, and so he doesn't need our help, because he's doing a great job of screwing things up on his own.
Yeah. Was there a moment, Lavern, when you said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to run for Congress. I want to plant my flag and my feet and make a difference for my family, for my community. Was there a moment, or did you know that you wanted to run for office?
I never thought about running for office. I never thought about running for office at all. But I always helped other people that was running for office. Okay. So I always helped them. I knocked on doors for them, made phone calls for them and everything. And a lot of them, once they got elected, and I said, okay, I need your help. I need you to help me with my organization. Help me feed these people. Help me find these so-and-so a place to stay, because we always get mothers that have a lot of kids right here that don't have anywhere to stay. A lot of them are staying in abandoned buildings. They're sleeping in the parks. They're sleeping in cars. So when I would call them and ask them for help, oh, we just don't have enough resources. We can't help you right now. But you didn't say that when I was knocking on doors for you. Yeah. So I decided to stop asking, stop begging. It's time to start fighting. And that's why I decided to run for Congress right here in my district, which happens to be one of the poorest districts in Florida. And the congresswoman that's in office now doesn't do anything for the district at all. But yet they still worship her like she's a god. And that's one of the problems. Other communities, you can't just have a seat and don't do anything because you're going to get the pushback. But a lot of times in the Black community, they always have the tendency to vote for the same person over again. If they didn't help you in the first place, the first 4 years or the first 2 years that they was in office, and then you're gonna go and vote for them just because they knocked on your door and bought you a plate of shrimps or a plate of chicken, and I'm just keeping it real, okay? And that's how they get them to vote for them.
Wow. Okay.
So then once they get back in that seat, you're gonna run into the same problem. Because if they didn't help you in the first place, they're not gonna help you the next time when they get elected. So that's why it's so important that we stop voting for people that have a self-serving agenda, and that's the reason why they're running for office, to help themselves, their friends, their fraternity brothers and sorority sisters and family members.
Yeah. Well, it would be hard to say that you've been out for yourself after feeding people for decades. So we definitely want someone like you in office fighting for your community. Speaking of wasteful spending and government idiocy, Biden has set aside $42 billion to bring high-speed internet to impoverished communities. Yet not one single person has this high-speed internet yet. Pete Buttigieg spent $7.5 billion on EV electric vehicle chargers, and after all of this time, only 7 of them have been built. Why is the government allowed to touch any of our taxpayer money when they are so ineffective at getting anything done for the American people or for improving infrastructure?
Because people got to stand up and fight back. We can't just sit back and allow them to dangle carrots in front of us, sell us dreams and everything else. We got to give them pushback. We got to fight back. We got to let them know, hey, enough is enough. I mean, you have social media, it's so many ways that you can fight back these days to make sure that they hear your voice, to make sure that you stand up and fight for this country while we still have one. While we still have one, we got to fight, and we got to fight hard.
Yeah. Okay, final question, Lavern. I appreciate you coming on. Just in the last 48 hours, President Trump said one of his biggest concerns with illegal immigrants flooding the United States is it puts Black workers out of work and at a disadvantage. Do you think that this is true? Does Trump actually care about Black voters? Because this morning, Al Sharpton was on television saying that Donald Trump is one of the most racist people he's ever met.
Well, the strangest thing is this. Everybody that has something negative, and of course, with the Democrats, they always use that race card as their main card to try to cover up for what they do not do for the Black community in the first place. Before Trump even got elected to office, all of the Black people that have something negative to say about him, whether it's Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, all of them, Trump supported them in some way. Whether he helped Jesse Jackson with his campaign when he first ran for office. You can see, if you Google, you'll find all the pictures on the internet. Him and the rappers. All the rappers supported him. All of them supported Trump. When they didn't have a place to stay, he let them stay at Trump Towers for free. For free. Okay? He has helped so many of them. But once he decided to run for Congress, as the president, then all of a sudden, that's when all the hate came. All the animosity, all the hate, all the racist comments. But they didn't call him that when they was the best of friends.
Yeah.
So why now?
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've seen them try to get Mike Tyson to turn on them. And he's like, do you know how many fights I was able to secure because of Donald Trump? Same thing, Jesse Jackson. many others. But really quickly, his comment about illegal immigrants flooding the community hurts the Black community with getting jobs. Do you think there's truth to that?
Absolutely, it's truth for that. Just it's not just jobs; it's a place to stay also. Because even with the homeless facilities, they are full because they are here. They are here. They're taking all the resources because all the resources that they never made available to the Black community in the first place are now being made available to the illegals. To the illegals. Look at the schools. They have schools in New York that they empty and got rid of the kids so that they can move the illegal immigrants in. We're seeing all this type of stuff take place all across the country. You know, they're like I said before, they're rolling out the red carpet for them. They're changing all the rules and regulations for them. And nothing. So if that let us know if they can do all of that for them, why they didn't do it to help the community, why they didn't do it to help the people that need it the most, why they didn't do it to help the Black community that needs the help in the first place.
Yeah. Wow. I'm excited to have Washington, D.C. have good-hearted people like you that, comes from America, the roots of America. You want to see your fellow man and woman do really well. I'm going to put a direct link to your campaign down below so that people can learn more about what you're doing, your beliefs, what you're going to bring to Washington, D.C., and donate where they can. But I just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm excited for you. Any final words before we end here, Lavern?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, like I said, for inviting me on. People, it is time to stand up and fight. Do not live your life in fear. I see it all the time. So many people are afraid. They don't know how this is gonna, what is going on now. They don't know how it's gonna affect them. We really don't know if they're gonna start coming after everybody that's speaking out. So our rights, our freedom, our constitution, our amendments, everything is at stake. So we got to get the right people in office that are going to fight for this country and that are going to fight for us and stand up against the tyranny. Stand up against them. Don't be afraid. Fight back.
Yeah. Well, you're a fighter. I love that about you. It's why I wanted you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.